You have a website called Get Punished.
Yes.
And you get contacted by a female from this website.
Yep.
Which ended up being Cassie.
Exactly.
So what was the first contact like?
Seemed like just a normal, typical party. I pick up the phone. It's like she introduces herself as Janet.
Janet?
Yep, it's okay. Janet. And she says it's her birthday. She said, it's my birthday, and my husband told me that I can have an entertainer, and I'm celebrating with some friends. So we want you to come through and do a dance for me and my friends. So I'm expecting a small gathering of women to do a show. And so we scheduled it. We picked a time. He told me the Trump Hotel. And the time originally was like midnight, then it got pushed to 1, then it got pushed to 2, and I think eventually we scheduled on like 2:45 a.m.
Okay. And was money discussed at this point?
Yeah, the going rate at the time to a regular was like $200. So that's what I quoted.
Okay. So you show up to the Trump Hotel. What happens next?
Bro, it's crazy because I'm coming there expecting a party, and the door opens and it's Janet, and she's basically in a robe, but it's completely obvious that she's nude underneath. And she kind of just opens the door with this big inviting smile. Hey, how you doing? And I'm like, because listen, man, we live in a time with filters, and every woman can make themselves look attractive and beautiful in social media and stuff like that. But when you see a woman like Miss Ventura, and she looks flawless, man. It's like, it's a wow factor, you know. So opening the door to that stunning of a woman was like, what is this? And I, like, she's right, so you can tell she's naked. So she's like, come on in, and I'm heading on in, you know.
Okay, so you come in the room, and there's someone else in the room.
No.
At that point, no.
No.
Just her.
So it's a suite, right? So she brings me in, and she takes me straight to the living room. And the living room is darkly lit, it's dim. And then what was weird about it is every piece of furniture was covered in sheets. So I look around, I have like a little mini freak out because I think I just watched this movie called American Psycho, and when he used to bring people in his house to kill him, he used to cover all his furniture. So I'm like, yo, what's about to happen? But whatever, I regained my composure, and we stopped in front of a bathroom, and so I immediately asked, I still think I'm gonna dance, right? So I say, do you want me to change here? So she immediately explains, look, I don't want you to dance. Actually, while you're here, is me and my husband, we like to create a scene. So she starts explaining to me that she wants me to change into underwear or a towel, and then she points to 2 of the couches, and she said, we're gonna sit on those couches, you're gonna sit here, I'm gonna be here, and we're gonna put baby on and create like a environment, and at some point, my husband's gonna come out and watch.
Okay, so how much baby oil was around at this point?
So the baby oil, ironically, by the couches, there were like bowls, and the bowls were filled with warm water, and there were just big bottles of baby oil just placed in the bowls. So
okay.
I want to say it was 2 to 3 bottles of baby oil, but the big ones, the thirst busters.
Okay. All right, so you start putting the baby oil on at this point?
Yeah, so I go in the bathroom, change to the towel, I come out, she's in the robe, so she takes her robe off, I'm in my towel, and we're both first individually oiling each other, and then it leaves, I'm oiling myself, she's oiling herself, then we start oiling each other.
What's good, y'all? It's OB Media. The Punisher goes crazy, and he detailed his freak-off encounter with Cassie and Diddy. This is just crazy, man. Cassie is not all innocent. She was a willing participant. Diddy was getting guys with BBC so that they can have sex with Cassie. Diddy is the type of guy that is gonna please his females. So I understand that Diddy is a type of freak that is different out of this world. But Cassie is a freak as well. She liked this shit. She liked to be a freak. She asked the escorts to pee in her, all type of freaky shit, man. So I understand that Cassie was a victim of domestic violence, and Diddy needed to hold accountable. That was just bullshit for me, man. But it is what it is, man. You need to watch a full video. Let's get it.
And then there's some sort of like, we're creating this environment, and at some point, shortly after that started, her husband walked into the room.
Okay. Now, this husband that walks in the room was a black male.
Black male.
Who was only wearing a veil on his face?
Yes. So he walks into the room. Now, one part that I left out is part of the instructions initially was in creating these scenes. When her husband came in, we were not supposed to acknowledge him at all. I was supposed to act like he's not there. Don't look at him. Don't talk to him. Try my best to just make believe he's not in the room. So even when he walks in, I have to look at him from my peripherals, but I'm gonna look, right? Because I never been in a situation. It's kind of odd. So he does walk in. I can kind of see, but then when it gets to his neckline, it's like I think they call a burqa, like the Muslim women wear it, and you can only see the eyes.
Okay. So you got this guy in the room with you. You don't know who it is, though.
I have no idea.
He's not talking or anything else like that at this point?
Not at this point. He just comes in. I notice in his hands a purple top. So I use Astroglide so I can kind of make out he had Astroglide. And across the room, there was like a table with a chair. So he kind of sat at the table and the chair, and he sat there, and he would get up and kind of walk side to side and pace side to side, which you could tell he was trying to get better visual angles.
Okay. What happens next?
With the visual angles, he would start giving very subtle directions. But it was just more or less on viewing. Like the room was candlelit, so he would at times get her attention and tell her, "Hey, move the candle to the left, move the candle to the right, turn your body this way." And he never spoke directly to me, but it could be instructions for me to turn my body, for me to get in different positions. And so this went on about 20, 25 minutes. Eventually, he just got up and left the room. That was kind of like a cue for her to follow him. She left the room, and then she just came back and was like, "That was great. It was perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Like, we're good." But then she asked me, "Do I want to finish?" And so me finishing is referring to me having an. But honestly, man, with the environment and stuff, I'm kind of uncomfortable. So I declined. Like I went the high road, like professionally, like, look, if you guys are happy, I'm happy. It's not about my needs. As long as everything is good, cool. And she accepted that. And I stood up and she handed me $1,200. And that was in addition. I didn't mention when I first got there prior to changing, the first thing she did was handed me $800. And after everything was over, it was an additional 12. So I ended up with $2,000 for like a 20-minute baby oil massage. So it was a win for me.
Okay. And so you guys didn't have, but you rubbed baby oil on her body and everything else like that. So there was definitely activity, but not full blown.
Not full blown. No.
Okay. So you got $2,000 and you didn't recognize Cassie at all, did you?
I did not, man.
At that point, yeah.
I saw a face, but I couldn't completely make it out. So she had on a wig, right? So she's wearing a wig. So later after the fact, I didn't have the cue of the shaved hair, kind of look. So, and I'm looking at the face and, I just couldn't figure it out. When I left, I tried to jump on Google. I knew they had to be some sort of celebrity couple, but I think what was throwing me off was I thought they were married. So all my Google searches are married couple, married couple, married couple. And obviously they're not going to come up under that search term.
Okay. So you get paid $2,000 for that first act. When did the next call come?
The next call probably was like months later. I wasn't even expecting it. She did say in the conclusion of that first one, "Hey, I'm comfortable with you. I would like to call you back," but it was when we're in town. So I don't know. And I got a random text message saying, "Hey, are you available?" or whatever. But I didn't, my number's on a website, right? So I get all types of crazy messages and I didn't remember. So I kind of asked, "Look, I don't remember who you are. Can you text me a photo?" And then the person just cut communication. And then later that day, I got the number I had locked in from Janet, right? And she said, "Hey, that was my husband earlier that contacted you directly. This is us. Are you free?" And then I ended up coming back.
Okay, so that second session, what happened then?
All the sessions were pretty consistent, man. Same thing, baby all play, but D's led into, so it was clear that there was a interest in it. I knew this because there was always pre-conversation where I would show up like normal conversation, and then the conversation started happening of, are you tested? Do you go to the doctor? Like, I'm tested, I'm clean, I'm whatever. So I kind of know what that means, right? So I figured it's going to lead into sex. And it was very systematic. Always couches, oil, subtle directions, but instead of it stopping at just rubbing, now it's going to go into oral and penetration, and it just leads into sex.
Well, in the first session, Diddy had covered his face.
Yeah.
Same thing with the second session?
Same thing with the second session. His face remained covered, and it remained clueless of who they were for me to literally probably a year to like 15 months in.
Okay, so the second session, you guys actually have...
Yeah.
No condoms?
Condoms. Yeah. It eventually led to no condoms, but that was probably about 4 or 5 sessions in.
Okay, now in your book, you talked about kind of dealing with erectile dysfunction and so forth.
Yeah.
So, and this is, you're dealing with that in a one-on-one situation, but now you have a guy masturbating in the corner, which I'm sure made it even harder to stay hard and to climax and so forth, right?
Extremely, man.
Yeah.
Extremely. And what was difficult about it too was it wasn't just a guy in the corner. It was directions, like, right? He's like, we're in the middle of trying to be in a state, and it's like, hey, move this to the left, and then she'll move it, then no, further to the left, no, a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So it's very directed to the point where I can't block it out. Like, I have to acknowledge it, and so there's no way I'm pushing past my discomfort because it's there presently. And then obviously there's a part where he's pleasuring himself, like he's pleasuring himself, he's masturbating. So, and I can see this from my peripheral, so it's super uncomfortable, man. So I'm just over medicating. I'm taking every pill. Listen, if it was supposed to take 20 milligrams, I'm taking 80.
Wow.
Yeah, I probably could have gave myself a heart attack sometimes, man. Like, well, it was over the top.
Okay, were you climaxing yourself or no?
Well, so climaxing actually was mandatory.
For you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Like these sessions had to end with me climaxing.
Okay.
Yeah, like, so that was like part of the request, and it was a specific climax. I had to climax every single time in the outside area of her vagina.
Oh, so you pulled the condom off initially and then just come on her.
Yeah.
Okay. On the stand, she said that guys would climax on her and she would take the cum and rub it on Diddy's nipples. Was this happening in your sessions?
Well, so it is an assumption, right? So, obviously with the veil, there was a very deliberate attempt to hide his identity.
Yeah.
So they never had any interactions or even any outward conversation in my presence. So there was a routine where sometimes we'll be right in the middle of and he'll just stand up and walk out of the room. And she would take that cue and she would follow him out. So I did recognize, and I mentioned it in my book, that it became a habit that we're having sex on couches with sheets. We started in towels. I would climax, but she would specifically leave the room without wiping herself, without doing anything to take care of the whatever I left on her. So I assumed that's when he popped up, because once I climbed up, he popped up, he left the room, she popped up, she followed him. So I'm assuming that's when the lathering, whatever went on, happened at that point.
Okay, so at what point did he stop wearing a veil?
It was shortly after. The way that I ended up finding out who he was and they were, because they're obviously in conjunction with each other, about the 5th time we were in a hotel called the Essex House. And when I would arrive for the sessions, I would be waiting around a couple of hours. So in this specific time, they put me into an extra room in the hotel suite. And to kill time, I decided to watch TV. And this specific hotel had a welcome message, which was, so when I cut on the TV, it specifically said, Essex House would like to welcome Mr. Sean Combs.
Oh.
And I was like, whoa, like I was blown away, man.
Right. Well, because Puffy is from Harlem. You're from Harlem. So it's hitting really close to home.
Yeah,
Plus,
man.
it's Diddy. Everyone knows who that is.
Come on, man. I that's my era. Like, I grew up in that era. And I felt even more like a jerk, right? Because I literally followed him on social media. So for a year, like, I'm not all the way into his post, but I followed him. Like, he would pop up on my timeline from time to time, and I had no idea.
And you didn't know that it was Cassie up to this point either?
I didn't recognize
You
it,
didn't put it all together?
Yeah, I didn't put it all together. Like,
Okay.
I was aware of Cassie, but I mean, her hit song probably was
Yeah, 2009 maybe?
maybe even before that. Maybe 2005,
No, it wasn't 2005. Cassie.
That Me and You. The song I was familiar with was the Me and You song.
No, you're right, 2006.
Yeah,
so, you're right. No,
yeah,
you're
so
right.
it's years later.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Okay, so now you see Sean Combs on the screen, and now your mind is putting the pieces together. And you're like, oh my God, this dude in the corner all this time was Diddy.
Yeah.
So this must be Cassie.
Yeah.
And now it all hits you. What did you think when you realized that?
I'm definitely blown away. It all makes sense now, right? Some of the whole, one specific hotel we were in, the London hotel, the suite we were in was so insane. I actually looked it up when I got out of there, and it was like 30 grand a night. So I'm like, all right, this makes sense. But then I'm even more paranoid, right? Because, I can't validate none of this stuff or whatever. I'm going from what my thought process is. But growing up in Harlem, growing up at that time, there was always rumors about his, right? So
Yeah, that he was possibly gay or bisexual.
exactly.
Yeah.
So now I'm worried about, well, look, I don't want it to be a scenario where there's an advance, you know what I'm saying? Or something like,
we got some extra money for you this time.
yeah. I'm not trying to get to take that literally, man. You know what I'm saying? So and luckily, look, in respect, nothing ever happened, nothing even close. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question, though, because I have a lot of friends in the adult film industry, male and female and so forth. And, sometimes, I don't want to do this, but if the money's right, then I'll do it. Right? So if, let's just say, Diddy said, listen, for $100,000, I want you to do something with me involved as well. Would you do it?
I mean, look, bro, me and my friends, we play around with those hypotheticals. Like,
Yeah.
yo, for $1 million, would you? You know what I'm saying? Whatever, man. Like,
Yeah, but this is Diddy, who actually has $1 million
Yeah.
to spare.
yeah, but like I said, man, I'm a straight guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of compromising myself. And honestly, in this situation, I'm not financially hurting, right? Like, I own a business. Like, I own the Brownstone in Harlem. Like, I'm turning down these things unless it works for me, right?
Got it.
I'm there. I'm not, the money's nice, but it also helps that is Cassie, right? Like, look at this chick. Like, I'm trying to can I focus here and not focus there? I wasn't being very successful at it, but it was just something to work. But it wasn't going to be a scenario where I was going to auction my manhood to the highest bidder. You know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't that part of it?
Right, and you said that Diddy never joined in.
Never.
Okay. Were there times where you couldn't climax?
One time specifically, but no, I did every single time. There was times I struggled because, if any guy that's over medicated with these pills, your erection is not out of desire. It's literally a medical erection.
Yeah.
And you go numb, and it's really, really hard to climax. So one specific time, my blood pressure was probably through the roof. My face was flushed, and I literally had to drink a glass of ice water. I had to do some research, drink a glass of ice water to bring my blood pressure down, and I was able to make myself climax. But there was definitely times where it was hard to try to make that happen.
Okay, well, at one point, the veil came off.
Yeah. And it was shortly after me seeing the TV, right? So I don't know if this is for certain, but it's already a year or something and the TV's on. I never say I know. Like I just played a role. I'm still calling her Janet. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I guess they figured it out and it switched from a veil to a baseball cap.
So he would just wear like a Yankee fitted?
Yeah, butt naked.
And that's it?
Yeah.
No Tim's on, nothing?
I am, bro. First of all, I'm trying not to look below the shoulders.
I got
so
you.
I definitely ain't see it was on his feet.
Okay, I'm playing with you. All right, so now you got Diddy in a Yankees hat in the corner with his face showing.
Yeah.
And now you're realizing that you're sleeping with Cassie in front of him.
Yeah.
And then at one point, there's no condoms.
Yeah. So all of this ironically happened in that same day.
Hold up, man. This interview is crazy as hell, man. Diddy was in the room in a Yankees hat, butt naked. Diddy was up to some booty timing. So Punisher was afraid that Diddy was gonna punish him because Diddy is the type of ninja that is gonna take that, because he was a real bad boy. So Diddy was in the corner masturbating while Cassie was getting smashed. And then when the escort come, Cassie go in the room and rub it on Diddy's nipples. So Diddy like this type of freaky shit, man. This is just crazy to me. I would have been uncomfortable to be in the room having sex with a girl when Diddy's there masturbating. I don't think I could ever perform. So something is definitely wrong with these dudes. So you're saying that Diddy did not put any gay activities to you, but I believe if Diddy was serious and put up $1 million for you to get down, you would do that shit, because that is $1 million and Diddy got that shit. So I understand that most of these male escorts be lying. If Diddy give them an offer, they would take that shit. They would give up their asshole. So I understand that most of these ninjas are just freaky, because I could not do that with the next ninja in the room masturbating. That is just weird to me. That is some crazy cockhole activities. So understand that Diddy is just a freak and Cassie's a freak as well. But Diddy got a micro weenie. He can't have sex with nobody. That can't please nobody. So everyone is saying that Diddy was tapping a lot of rappers. No, I don't believe. I believe that Diddy was getting these same guys so that they can have sex with the rappers, and then he tape it and then he blackmail people. Because Diddy got a small weenie Diddy. He's from the itty bitty community. So I understand that Diddy was not strong in that area. So I see why he had to get these guys to have sex with Cassie. So everyone was saying that Diddy is a billionaire. Why did not Diddy do a surgery or something? Man, I don't know, man. But this shit is just weird to me, man. It is just some freaky shit that been going on for a long time that a lot of people was not talking about. Because a lot of these celebrities were hot to freak off. And Cassie is a beautiful girl. And Diddy was freaking her out like that. Nobody's special. You could have been pretty like diamonds and gold. Diddy is gonna freak you out. He's gonna turn you in a slut. This is what billionaires do. They get freaky, fly in prostitution, but Diddy was flying in dudes. That is the crazy part about the situation. Not even one female come to the front and said that Diddy hired her for a freak off. Diddy hired almost all of the gays, all of the escort agency. Man, Diddy was definitely wilding. He was on some timing, man. He was having 72 hours of freak off. He was getting out of hand. He was hooked on a lot of drugs. So Diddy is definitely a weird ninja, and something is wrong with him. He's a bisexual. He like booty, because Diddy be in the room watching that booty and be masturbating. I know Diddy is gonna try one of those days to take that physically, because that ninja weird to me. But it is what it is, man. It's OB Media. Publicity.
Okay, we're doing it. We're getting into it. Look at us. Okay, so obviously we know what's going on with Diddy and Cassie, but that's settled. So we're gonna get into some shit surrounding all of this, you know? Some people are saying Diddy is just an overprotective, over-friendly guy to certain people, while others are calling him the gay hip-hop boogeyman.
When you like this, Daddy. Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
A very confident Diddy says to Noriega, I love it when you're like this, daddy. I love when you're scrounging and scraping and scrambling and shit. Obviously, Noriega knows what that lingo means as he's doing the scrambling and scratching and scraping and shit. It's no secret that Diddy refers to certain men as daddy.
Did you miss me though? For real.
Here's a very helpless Fab at this moment. Looks a bit frightened.
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
And we see Fab starts to stutter.
We.
Damn. Sorry. Then we have a man claiming that he witnessed Diddy dangling Wale over a balcony for being in the studio with Cassie. Wale responds like a noble poet, the slow demise of authentic journalism. I used to pray for Gullible. Now I'm scared of him. Wild times. Did he hang you off of there? I'm about to slow demise of the journalist. Did he hang you off of there? Damn. Now, from just looking at this picture, people would assume that Diddy and Meek had something going on or whatever. In my opinion, it's not the shirts. It's the way Meek is posing, you know. But he does that. It's always Meek's pose, you know, because here we see a very arched Meek on the side of the pool.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in
He looks a little distressed, like he's been scrambling and scraping and ouchie. Diddy in this video refers to Meek as daddy, putting in that work. Again, no secret to that. Now this one is very interesting.
out arenas and everything, starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're all thinking the same thing. I know. Why the f you be hanging out with him? But we cannot negate the fact that young Justin Bieber was around Usher as well. Nothing there. Interesting footage of Diddy getting a haircut.
When I was, man, DJ, give me the thing, man. I'm loved now, y'all. So back in the day, somebody may got thrown out the window for that shit, but not no more. I just handle it with grace.
We saw the diddler about to come out, didn't we? Shit. Diddy allegedly pressured Cassie to get breast plants in 2009 and then forced the surgeon to take them out and redo them 1 week post-op because he didn't like the results. I think what we're all missing here is who's the doctor? And is he still a doctor, right? What? In the middle of all this drama, we have DJ Academic's Rosie O'Donnell body build wide hip lumberjack dyke shaped ass tweeting to Young Miami. Young Miami, your loud ass ain't tweeting 4 days. Come on, don't make it this obvious. Well, what the fuck she gonna say? Yeah, period? Like, what the fuck? He ain't do nothing to her.